Well, good day, everybody. This is Joe Van Cleve, and hey, I have an apology to make to at least 4 of you guys. I missed your typing assignment entries from Typing Assignment 20. My apologies, strictly my fault. Anyways, it wasn't personal. Don't really need an explanation, except I'll say that my default view of the comments on YouTube is filtered in such a way that I don't see all the comments, and I need to always remember to click on and change my view. And I don't know why YouTube does that, or whether there's a setting for me to look at my default comments in a different way. But anyways, I missed your entries, and so we have a special video, makeup video, just for these 4 people who entered their assignments. And the Typing Assignment 20 was about the subject of pet peeves, and we had already some great entries from the previous video, and we're going to continue that in the same vein here. So without any further explanation, apologies, or blah blah blah, let's get into the typing assignment results. Here we go. David Randall wrote his piece on an Olivetti Studio 44. I believe that was the second Studio 44 used in this assignment, and it's a really fun piece about the character named George, who is a woodworker, enjoys his workshop, and he has a neighbor that comes over named Jock, and Jock, all he wants to do is talk and talk and talk and distract you from whatever you're doing, and it's always a one-sided conversation. Maybe you guys know somebody like that. Maybe I've been like that, actually. Anyways, it's a great story. I love the way it ends with their old shop teacher, woodworking teacher, intervening in the situation by happenstance. And it's a wonderful story, and I can certainly relate probably on both sides of those characters. Well, thanks a lot, David. I really appreciate your entry. S.B. Bahanga's piece was written on a Desert Tan 1956 Smith Corona Super Silent, and it's a great piece. There's a little bit of sarcasm, I think, in here. It's really fun. Basically, it's a tutorial on how to cultivate your peeves into pet peeves, and you could be as happy as the character is at the end of the tale, where he is holed up in his mother's basement without friends or any job, and it's the happiest life he could possibly want. And of course, that's sarcasm, but I really appreciate that, and that is certainly a lesson for us that we need to not cultivate our garden of peeves, and do our best to eliminate them and pluck them out by the root, so to speak. But very good job, SB. I really enjoyed that. Thank you. Diane Mayors' piece was written on her 1909 Smith Premier No. 10, certainly the oldest machine being used in this particular assignment, and her pet peeve is a great one, and I hadn't really thought about it before this way, but her pet peeve was about why a lot of people ask you what high school you went to or secondary school you went to, and she never could understand why they asked it, but it always bothered her. And finally, one day, talking to an acquaintance, she finally figured out that it had to do with, by finding out where someone went to high school, you could determine their socioeconomic background a little bit better, which to Diane is even worse. It even makes it a worse thing for them to be doing. But that's a really great observation, Diane. I appreciate that, and I enjoyed your piece. Thank you. Andrew Nichols' piece was really a fun story about a young man who is working himself through college and is working at a supermarket, and he happens to come across a customer of his who is being very rude on the phone, ignoring his duties as a customer to quickly pay and allow the people in line behind him to have their turn at the cashier. And the end of the story, of course, is where Trevor, this young man going to college, working as a clerk, launches the man's cell phone across the supermarket. Ah, yes, wouldn't we all love to do that? I wonder if that man, that arrogant man on the cell phone, would have been Trevor's professor in an upcoming class in one of his college courses. Wouldn't that have been embarrassing and troublesome? Well, that was a great story. Thank you very much, Andrew. I get a lot of pleasure out of these typing assignments, just reading through everybody's piece, sifting through their links and their blogs and whatnot. It gives me a lot of satisfaction. I really enjoyed how you guys who've participated consistently over this series have grown as writers, and it's fun to see the differences in writing style and characteristics and personality between each of you. Now, I can imagine there is a certain amount of satisfaction for any one of us seeing our work put out in public, even if it's a venue as humble as this little channel of mine. But I'll say that I appreciate the opportunity to work with you, fellow participants, and get my little one-page piece written every time also. I just enjoy the typing assignments, and it really is like an assignment in the sense that if you go to school, you don't necessarily have an opportunity to work on assignments that would naturally come easy to you. We oftentimes have to do assignments on subject matter that don't come easy to us, and that's the whole point. It helps stretch us, help grow us a little bit better in that skill. And so that's what I'm hoping this assignment series does for us, helping us to grow as writers, as creatives, and helping us to use words and language to fulfill our creative desires. And I really appreciate everybody who participates in this series. Thank you very much. And until next time, and on into the new year of 2019, you guys have yourselves a great day.